Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I want to look at a business model that often hides in plain sight: adult daycare centers. On the surface, these spaces can look like activity centers, meal programs, or other gathering sites for our senior citizens. But underneath that surface is something much more important. Adult daycare is not just about filling time during the day. It is a recurring care platform that provides supervision, routine, engagement, and structure for participants while also relieving pressure on the households caring for them. So, the deeper question in this presentation is simple: are these centers just community spaces, or are they one of the hidden business engines of modern family care? This distinction matters. A senior center and adult daycare center may look similar from the outside because both can offer meals, activities, conversation, and a place to go during the day. But the underlying purpose is different. A senior center is often designed for active participation, lighter programming, and community engagement. An adult daycare center is more structured and more care oriented. The person attending may need supervision, support, routine, and safe daytime coverage, while the family depends on that structure to keep the household functioning. One model serves participation, the other serves dependable daytime care. The myth is that adult daycare is just a place where older adults pass the time. The reality is that these senior citizen activity centers are doing much more than that. They are helping families manage caregiving pressures, work schedules, transportation challenges, and the emotional burden of making sure someone is not left isolated or unsupported during the day. The myth says that this is just social programming. The reality is that it is a structured service with high trust expectations, recurring attendance, and real dependence built into it. This is what turns the model from simple daytime activity into a very serious care enterprise. What is really going on is that adult daycare centers are stabilizing more than the participant. They are stabilizing entire caregiving households. A son or daughter may be working, a spouse may be overwhelmed, a family may not be ready for a nursing home or a full time residential placement, but they still need dependable daytime support for their loved one. So the center becomes a shared care platform. It provides routine, supervision, engagement, and structure for the participant while quietly making the family's life much more manageable. The visible service is daytime care, yet the hidden business is a recurring family relief. This model works beautifully because it solves two problems at once. For the participant, it reduces isolation, creates routine, and offers a safer and more engaging daytime environment. For the family, it creates respite, predictability, and relief. It allows one center to support many households through one shared care structure infrastructure. That makes the model more scalable than one on one household personal care alone. In other words, adult daycare works because it transforms individual caregiving strains into a group based service platform that families can build around. The family relief engine is one of the most important ideas of this presentation. The participant may receive the service, but the household often buys the relief. Families are not only paying for a place to go during the day, they are paying for the ability to work, to rest, to manage appointments, to avoid leaving a loved one alone, and to carry the emotional burden of caregiving with just a little bit more support. That is why the family relief engine matters so much. The hidden customer is often not just the older senior citizen attending the center, it is the caregiving household that needs its day to hold together. The customer journey in this model usually starts with stress, not casual shopping. A family realizes that the current caregiving arrangement is becoming hard to sustain. Maybe the senior citizen should not be left alone. Maybe the family caregiver is overwhelmed. Maybe work and care responsibilities are colliding. The family begins looking for options, asking around, visiting sites, comparing what feels safe and trustworthy, and deciding whether the center fits their loved one's needs. Once attendance begins, the real test becomes consistency. If the participant adjusts as well, if the family feel reassured, and if the service creates relief, attendance becomes recurring. That is when the center shifts from an option to a necessary infrastructure for the family. The business model overview formalizes what the center is actually doing. The customer segments include both the participants and caregiving families. The value proposition includes supervision, routine, social support, programming, meals, and relief. The channels often include referrals, community trust, local networks, and family word of mouth. The revenue depends on recurring attendance because the model is strongest when the service becomes part of a predictable care routine. Your key resources are your staff, the facility space, trust, program structure, safety systems, and the ability to maintain dependable relationships. In other words, this is just not a warm social space. It is a recurring care platform with real operational discipline underneath it. Your strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat snapshot shows the strengths and vulnerabilities of this model. Its strengths include recurring need, strong family relief value, group based efficiency, and the ability to keep people connected. Its weaknesses include labor intensity, high trust pressure, safety expectations, and dependence on recurring attendance. The opportunities are significant: aging populations, specialized programs, stronger respite positioning, and integrated community support. But the threats are real as well: staffing shortage, liability concerns, affordability pressures, confusions with your lighter senior center models, and trust collapse if the service becomes inconsistent. So the model is deeply valuable, but is also operationally very serious. The strategic takeaway is that adult daycare centers are not just daytime programming sites. They are care businesses that convert supervision, routine, social support, and engagement into dependable household relief. That is what makes the model so revealing. It sits between independence and institutionalization. It allows families to delay more intensive placement while still creating structure around the day. So, the deeper reflection here is this: these centers may look simple on the surface, but they are actually part of the invisible care infrastructure that keeps many households functioning. Adult daycare centers are recurring care platforms, turning supervision, routine, and social support into dependable household relief. They matter not only because they serve our senior citizen population, but because they quietly hold together families who are trying to care without breaking under the tremendous pressures. This is why this topic deserves much more attention. It is not just community support, it is hidden care infrastructure. Thank you.